How's it going, everybody? So, today I would like to tell you two really curious episodes how my two scientific fields, marine biology and artificial intelligence, come together. Now, I'm one of the few scientists who is active in more than one field. So, really, I'm mostly interested in marine fishes these days, but my background is in neuroscience and I've published a little bit also in artificial intelligence. So I'm closely following that field, and there are now so many everyday uses in artificial intelligence that I came across two examples which I think very much shine light on the yin and the yang, on the very good advantages which we can get from AI, of the real benefits and of the dangers. And by danger, I don't mean, that AI will take over the world, but by danger, I mean that we believe nonsense. So, what is the positive case? I posted an footage on YouTube, as I do, and what you're watching now, about a hermit crab. And that hermit crab, obviously, it's a crab which uses a shell of a mollusk, a deceased mollusk, and there was an anemone on top. And there were also small organisms on the edge of that mollusk shell. And one of my viewers, so thanks to him or to her, I'm actually not sure, noticed these small organisms and asked, "What is this?" And I thought the person referred to the anemone, and I said, "Yeah, that's just an anemone." But he or she had seen these tiny worms, and actually the YouTube AI suggested as an answer, these are polycate annelid worms, which it seems they were. So, these are tiny worms which only took up a small part of the frame of this footage, and they were, essentially their mouth parts were sticking out. And this is a really rare group of marine invertebrates. Now, I'm more of a fish guy, of course, but I do know my marine invertebrates. And so I've never heard of this group before. So it turned out these were polydorid polychaetes, and there's not a lot of literature actually. And the YouTube suggestion AI knew that. So this is fascinating. So this is really help with ID of marine organisms, which I think pretty competent marine naturalist was not even aware of. Now this is example number one. So what's example number two? And this touches upon a very important issue in this large language models, in this modern AI. And again, thanks to my friend Arthur for pointing me in that direction. Giving me a lot of reading in the field of these hallucinations. So essentially, I just asked Grok a question. So Grok is the Twitter or X AI engine, which is free to use. Now, I have noticed that there is a goby, Oplopomos, which lives in the sandy areas, which lives next to these rather vertical burrows. And these are certainly not the burrows which are normally built by this commensal, symbiontic shrimp, which so many other shrimp, the shrimp gobies use. So that's a very different burrow, you can tell by looking at it. So I think it might be a burrow made by a large worm or by a mantis shrimp. And then once these animals die, the goby uses the burrow. So it's very specialized, and there's actually, to my knowledge, no scientific literature on it. I mean, this is a subfield of a subfield, right? And so I asked Grok what organism or which organism makes these burrows used by Oplopomos, the goby. And with a lot of self-confidence, and there was no word of doubt, Grok said, "Well, this is from some kind of shrimp, and the shrimp lives with the goby in a symbiotic relationship." So basically, it assumed this was a shrimp goby, which I'm pretty sure it is not. And again, there's no scientific paper Grok could have found, and it didn't give me any. and obviously it didn't do a study on its own, so it can only go with what human scientists have observed and published. So essentially, what I got from AI in this case, in the case of goby science, goby burrow science, to be precise, I got nonsense. I got a hallucination. So this is a well-known problem with artificial intelligence, that it basically it has this large multidimensional space of texts and meanings, and it takes an and a question, and then it finds with some high dimensional mapping here in this text meaning space is the right answer. And that in many cases it works, but often it just hits a spot in this space where there is just no factual information because it doesn't exist. So it just interpolates, and it hallucinates. It gives nonsense. So AI engines have invented cases in case law, legal cases, and they've invented scientific papers. They've invented people. So this is yet another example, just in my little world of goby biology, that AI came up with something that is just not factually correct. So you can tell that we're in the Philippines by useless dogs barking in the background. I hope this was interesting to you, and check back soon.